if you're a Leo born July 23rd to August 22nd, what can you expect for the month of November 2019? Let's tune in and find out. So Leo, I feel like whatever kind of happened at the end of October, it's about my throat just closed. It's about you. So your energy is directed inward at you, angry with yourself. And that could be about a lifestyle that you've chosen. It could be about your actions. It could be about an addiction. It could be, but I just see you turning it on you at the end of October. And just like, this extra energy. And the good news is I feel like that cracking open and opening up and being able to let that go at the first week of November. So I just feel like things starting to loosen up for you. So don't be so hard on yourself. If you need help, get help. If you need support, get support. Talk to friends, talk to family, talk to therapists. You can talk to me, right? There's a lot of healers out there who can help you. But just don't stay in it and don't beat yourself up. There's a lot of ways in which we experience life. And it's important that we learn how to be in the flow. And for those of you that are really hard on yourself, it can be easy to get stuck in that energy and then not feel productive. So just know that there are resources around you. You just got to be willing to ask for the help and not be embarrassed about asking for help. Okay? And I see November really opening up for you. And it's like, wow, it's really interesting. It's like if we start with November 1st as being this, black hole, let's say, I just see November opening up like this so that at the end of November, it becomes, that black hole is just a spotlight now, and you are in the center of the spotlight, and all eyes are on you. So whatever, you make such a big turnaround, so whatever kind of thing that you're dealing with in the early November 1st or 2nd, or that end of October, completely lightens so that at the end of the month, you shine so bright. So it's really good. So whatever it is, get over it because you clearly do, because the universe has got your back. Okay, let's move into coupled, romantic couples. For those of you that have been in a relationship for a year or more, what can you expect to happen in November for your relationship? I really see some help coming in from your partner. You may not like initially what they have to say, or you may not like that they're right. So, but I do feel like there's a support mechanism there and a support system that feels a little erratic initially, but then I feel like it opens up and it's just kind of like blooms here and there throughout the month. And then by November 26th, we have this new moon in Sagittarius, and I just see it blossoming and lots of joy. There's going to be different opportunities throughout the month that you can get away and go do things that you love to do, and you should do that, especially around that Thanksgiving holiday, that long weekend that we have. That's like, I think, November 28th. I just feel like that is such fun for you, and really relaxation and a lot of joy, and being able to do something that you've wanted to do for a while but haven't been able to get away. So that feels really good and really fun. Now for you single Leos, or for those that you've been, dating, even if you've been dating the same person, for a year or less or on and off, this would apply to you. So let's see what's in store for you for November. So I feel like you could be wrapped up, like just wrapped up either in one person or wrapped up in your own idea, or beating yourself up about relationships or in the past, or just even afraid to do relationships. But I just see you wrapped up, and then I see as it goes on, being able to have fun, unwinding, feeling loose. So by the November 3rd, 4th, 5th, I just feel like you're starting to unwind with this energy, have a little bit more fun, allow yourself to be seen and heard. Absolutely. Now, some of you can go really to the extreme and just be on fire and do tons of dating, internet dating, club dating, whatever. But there's just lots of opportunity to meet a lot of people to the point where I feel full, like, oh, know way too many people. I don't know what to do, way too many options. So I'm going to stay home, right? Because I feel some of you, it becomes too much. So then you withdraw completely. So just be careful. Try and find your balance in it so that you don't end up feeling so satiated and disgusted with yourself that, you just completely withdraw it all. So there's a lot of fun to be had. Just know your barometer of how much is too much, how far is too far, that sort of thing. And then I do feel like that November 26th, that new moon in Sagittarius, there is new opportunity to fall in love with yourself. So there's something that happens. A lot of this retrograde has you looking at yourself, doing better things for yourself, taking better mental care for yourself. And so I feel it less being about other people and more it being about you, which is really healthy. And then that could lead to somebody completely new November 26th and on with that new moon of Sagittarius. So I like that. Didn't see that. That's an interesting twist. You guys taking care of yourselves and first before jumping into a relationship. That's really healthy. Let's look at your money and your career for Leos. I feel like there's a lot of money coming in, but I also feel like you have some debt. So you're working really hard to get the money, like for it to rain on you. And I do feel like it's raining money. And that's really good. And I do feel like that really helps your self-esteem and building things. I feel like the career, it's almost like a patchwork. Like, what do I want to do? Or, which things go together and what is really me? So I feel like you're questioning yourself and your work and your value and do I want to stay in this field and or should I go something else? And during the retrograde period, that Mercury retrograde, you're going to be able to dig a little deeper and do some searching. There is some soul searching opportunities, some spiritual opportunities that happen for you this month that just like light bulbs go off that really help you to see your pain and that help you to heal. And it's almost like taking off a suit of armor. Like I feel like the end of the month, like, oh my God, like I feel so much better. So there may be some spiritual thing that you do along the way this month, whether it's a retreat, whether it's a book that you read, but there is this being able to feel the freedom and release that so that healing happens and joy happens and love happens. So it feels really good. And there's a new sense of self at the end of the month and happiness and a lot of that weight, that inner pain that you've been carrying or self-judgment at yourself. I feel somehow you've either made peace with it or you've integrated or healed it somehow. So I do feel like this ends up being a month of healing for you, Leo, somehow. So that the health this month has to do with mental health, has to do with mental matters. It has to do with I want to say with yourself, with things that, deep inside of you. And that's what's being looked at. That's what's being triggered. That's what's being asked to be changed or reformed or embraced. And so that's why I feel like you start at the month like just, so tight. And then at the end, you just shine, right? And so it's a really month that opens up your mental health and forgiveness and self-acceptance and love and joy. And let's see if there's any surprise for you, Leos. Yeah, I feel like this excitement coming through of understanding yourself and excitement of like knowing what makes you tick and excitement of being able to have control over compulsions and control, whether it's spending or whether it's a bad behavior or learning to keep your mouth shut, and not putting your foot in your mouth or hurting people's feelings or saying something because you're a Leo when you see it and you say it, and really learning a little bit better how to manage yourself around others. And with that sometimes comes humility, right? Because sometimes we say things that get us in trouble, get us fired, get us, dressed down, right, by people. So just know that whatever has happened is all for your highest good, is all for your learning curve. And by the end of the month, I just see, you happy and surprised, and you learned a lot about yourself. And it's really a beautiful unfolding month for you personally and emotionally. And I just see, like your dreams starting to come real for you at the end of the month. All right, Leos. And speaking of a dream, Get Dialed In is a dream that I've had for a long time to share with everybody. Your capacity to be able to tap into your own intuition. And I finally, after 20 years, have put the course together. It's on my website, peggyrometo.com. Go check it out. Should be relaunching this month. But with Mercury retrograde, anything can happen. So it may or may not happen, but it would be the second time. So I do follow my own advice. I don't put things out there the first time during a retrograde. This would be the second time it launches. I did a private internal launch. If you didn't hear about it, that's why. And I hope you'll check it out. And if you sign up for it, at one point you will be able to actually do things live together through a Zoom call and be able to connect with you live and help you feel things and learn things about yourself so that you can make your own decisions, so that you can dial in and do it on a consistent basis, because we all have those moments of those flashes of insight and brilliance. But how do we live in it? How do we stay in it? And everybody's wired only at 4 or 5 or 6 different ways, and I want you to be able to show that to you so that you can have your deepest connection with yourself. And in doing that, it reveals your gifts in the world. It deepens your capacity to love yourself and to be seen in the world. So that's my goal. I hope you join me in it. So go check out my Get Dialed In program. Love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves and your families. And I look forward to connecting with you next month. And thank you again for sharing and liking and communicating with me. And if you haven't, please go ahead and say something below. I'd love to hear from you. And I look forward to connecting with you again next month. Have a great month, everybody.